Hey Houston couples, join me today as we meet a very innovative photography company who is part of the Bridal Extravaganza show.
So my name is Jesus Manuel. I've been a wedding photographer for close to 30 years. Started out in New York. We are a husband and wife team. We both got the same ambitions, which is helping brides on the wedding day.
What is special because it's a husband and wife,
Yeah.
and you're dealing with husband and wife. So,
Okay.
talk about
So we had an experience during our wedding, and we decided to shift our company from just being a wedding business to being more customer service. So we give a lot of guidance before the wedding, during the wedding, and after the wedding, because our job doesn't end at the wedding. So during the wedding, we talk about vision, we talk about what's important to them, and then we talk about how to get there. Everybody wants to look like a model. Everybody, see these elaborate pictures online, and then they think that they could get there, and we tell them what it costs to get there. What wardrobe, makeup is very important. Posing, feminine posing, masculine posing, we give them a lot of guidance every step of the way so that, when we get together, we all know what to do and, how to get there. So,
so you say you've been a photographer for 30 years. Have you been married for 30 years or
no,
what was the timeline?
so my wife's been doing it with me since before we got married. We've been married close to 10 years, but she's been doing it before we
So
got
you were both photographers.
correct.
Cool. Because I was just like, I have you here today in our studio, and I know that you like to be behind the camera instead of in front. And what was it like for you two when you got married? Like, who did you don't have to tell me who you hired, but how did you manage letting them take pictures of you at your wedding? Did you let them?
I was very picky.
Do you
Ah,
have any pictures from your wedding?
yes, we do. Yes, we do have pictures. And
So when you're meeting with the couple, can you talk to me more about posing? Because I do notice the girls are so nervous, and it might be getting better these days with Instagram. Maybe they're learning more, but I just think in general, nobody teaches you how to pose.
exactly.
Why
Yeah.
posing?
Well, everybody has one of these, and everybody thinks that they could take pictures and standing in front of the camera, the shoulder square, hip square, no masculinity, no feminism, no hands, no props, anything like that. So we bring out the art. We look at the 14th century art. We look at the 15th century art. We look at the female body, which is not easy to pose. But we look at, and if she has a joint, we ask her to slightly bend it. We want her to be more like an S, more like a V. We give them guidance, and all of this is rehearsed and talked before the photo shoot. And then during the photo shoot, I'm just pointing. Your shoulders needs to be a little bit low on this side, your elbow, your hands, your nails, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you usually include engagement photos so that they meet you before? How does that?
Yes, I highly encourage engagement shoots. It's a way to test before the wedding day. I always guide my brides that you should never leave things for the last result. So, and we have a promotional for the January show. So we're giving out a free engagement session. But yeah,
Because I think some people don't do them, and they really, for all these reasons you're saying,
yeah.
makeup too, right? Test your makeup.
So not to talk about negative, but the time to release a photographer is not the day of the wedding. If you're not compatible with a photographer for whatever reason, the time to let them go is not the day of the wedding. Same thing with makeup. One of the biggest delays in most weddings that I see is that the bride's not happy with their makeup. And if you try to envision it, it's her wedding day. She's going to be wearing a white dress. Everybody's going to be looking at her, and she's not happy with the makeup. The time to let go of
It's been a long day.
the time to let go of that makeup artist is not the day of the wedding. That's why I always recommend to do a trial makeup months ahead when things are calmer, when things are, more relaxed. And if you don't like the way the makeup is coming out, time to replace them before the wedding day.
So let's get to your style, because I was looking at your website and it's impressive.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, these shots and um, how are you even getting these shots? And is it a lot of post-production work, or because they look national magazine for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we use a two-part series, right? There is the planning and taking of the pictures, and then there's the post-production. And with both of them, we work with the vision of the client. If she wants to be more contemporary, more artistic, more relaxed, we work with those visions and we cater to those results. So brides come in all shapes and sizes, and there's things about them that they know that they don't like. So we give them guidance and posting towards what, the way that they want to be envisioned as opposed to, you know,
Do you ask?
yes, I'm a big open communication guy. I like to know everything, whether it's good or bad, so that when we get to work, we know how to give you guidance to those results.
Okay, that's great. I haven't heard a lot of photographers say that.
I have everybody on my phone. I met with a bride, yesterday for lunch. I'm big on communication and giving them guidance. A lot of photographers, I don't like to talk negative, but they like to go the day of the wedding with the camera and take pictures. However, you know, things come out. I like to
More like spontaneous.
more
Right. I
spontaneous.
mean,
Yeah.
that's what,
Mhm.
so
Some brides like that. Yeah, some brides like that. But I'm more of a let's plan. Let me see your visions. You like this? This is what it's going to take to get there, and then we give guidance. So when we get together to shoot, we both know what to do. Mhm.
are you also doing video?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And are you bringing a separate videographer?
My wife. Well, well, we both do photo and we both do video.
Perfect.
Mm. And we use a lot of technology. We use gimbals that will follow a subject with autofocus. So we use 4 cameras and we station them around. And what we do is instead of having 4 photographers or 4 videographers, we use technologies to automatically select the subject and follow that subject.
Okay, that makes me want to ask you about AI. Has AI changed your business?
Yes,
Yes.
drastically, a lot. Yes.
And has it been beneficial or are you freaked out? Because I'm a little freaked out.
A, com- a combination of both. The freak out part is that they're better than they come up with things that I was thinking about, but not quite.
See, it's getting smarter than us. That's
Yeah.
thinking of things you have. Okay, yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Like what? Give us an example.
When I'm writing a blog or I'm writing, it's sort of like I'm hinting on what the direction that I want to go to, and it goes there before I actually ask for it. So, but we use AI to select the subject among a crowd, and if that subject goes behind something or if, moves around, the technology knows that subject and continues to follow that subject. We use that on drones, we use that on cameras, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, that all sounds like that it's beneficial for the couples.
Yes, instead of having 4 videographers, we could do it with one. So
So that's the other thing. Like when I hear these AI talks, they say, don't be afraid that it's going to take your job away. Your job just might change.
it's more about embracing it and monitoring it and making our life a lot easier to get better results.
Well, and you've kind of got to, what I've seen, you
Mhm.
still need to be a little bit techie to make it work. Whereas
Yes.
now it's like, but that's changing too. Like pretty soon our grandmother, partner and all that stuff.
Yes.
So when you meet with a couple, can you just give us in general, like, what's the expectation? How many times will they meet with you?
Mhm.
Are you the one that gives like a timeline of the day? Where do you fit in with all that?
I'm big on open communications. A lot of brides don't know what they want. So it's more about digging it out, asking a lot of questions, repeating the questions because sometimes the answer changes. And then once you get an idea, start pitching ideas to her and say, well, to get here, this is what it's going to take, just working with that. And I like I like to work with brides to get those ideas because I feel that I'm not treating them like a number. I'm getting more of a personality. We are a small business. And we don't like to be treated like a number. So we do that with our clients. I meet with them multiple times, whether it's on the phone, whether it's a Zoom or, a coffee, we meet with them and we just continue to ask a lot of questions and give them a lot of guidance.
I mean, I think every wedding vendor would say they're the most important vendor.
Yes.
If you don't have good pictures when this is over, it's like, who cares how your makeup was, right? Who cares? Almost everything goes back to the pictures, I think, even way more than the video, because you don't sit around watching your video. You know it's there, you watch it, you like it. But the pictures, I mean, they're on your wall, like.
That is correct. So we're going into an era where we don't have a lot of pictures on the wall. Everything's on the cell phone. Everything's on the, on the computer monitor. We trying to break that. We give frames, we give acrylics, we give things so that, when people come to your house, they're gonna see, a piece of art on the wall. So, and we're more of an artist. There's a lot of photographers out there. We like to be a little bit different, so we focus more on art. So we give our clients, pieces of art so that when people come home, and they're not expecting to be entertained or anything like that, but they see a piece of artwork and it's done in on the art. That's the goal that we want to reach.
Well, I think this has been very interesting. Is there anything else specific about your company that you think it's important that couples know?
Yes, I use both sides of my brains. I'm also an engineer. I like
Right. Good.
I like to design things. I use a lot of technology. That's the reason why we use a lot of technology.
Technology is great. Like, I love that because that's what couples want today, and that's what
Yeah.
we need. And it's out there for you to use. You absolutely should.
Yeah. So I came out with this book. This is unique to us. I make my own books, by the way. We do photo and video. This is version 2. By January, we're going to come out with version 3. We wanted to come up with a method of having photo and video on the book. I seen an idea, but it was made out of cardboard. It's only video, and I wanted to come up with something better. I always like to outdo myself. So I came up with this book. It comes with an acrylic glass. It's made out of wood. It's made out of real leather. It's waterproof. It's heat proof.
For those of you who are watching us on video, obviously we're going to zoom in and
Yeah.
for podcast listeners, try to describe it.
So I wanted to come up with a method that will be rewarding to my clients, so they could have the photo and videos in one place and they could see it. So when you open this, you will have the video inside, and we also give our clients.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. So if you're on the podcast, basically you just opened a book and then it looks like it's almost like a mirror acrylic around your video and the video just started playing. Did you press play?
I did first play it.
So you just press play.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. That room?
Mhm.
Wow.
So this is an acrylic glass, so it's waterproof, it's heat proof, it won't melt on you, anything like that. We also give 2 videos to every client. So we give them a highlight version, which is what's very trending right now. And we give them the documentary, which was what people liked before. The documentary is very similar to the highlights, but we put full speeches, full first dance, full ceremony, and then everything else is highlight. So we'll put either one on the video, and then you have the pictures of the wedding. So
That is so.
yeah. So
when people see that, they want it like that.
yeah. And this is something that's unique to us. Like
Battery operated?
yes. It has a battery charger in the front. So yeah, and it's
What do you call it?
we came up with different names, and me and my wife were still going back and forth.
3 names.
To be named, yeah. Mhm.
But when you create something brand new, naming it is work.
It is. We call the complete wedding album. We called it the highlights, but then people think this. Yeah, so we have given it a few names and we keep changing it. We're hoping to have a stable one by January.
Wow. Well, maybe when enough people react to it, the name will come to you.
Okay.
That is awesome. That's incredible. That's very impressive. And for sure, I have not seen any other photographer doing that. Wow. And so, of course, everything I just said is not true. You will watch your video all the time. If it's there, I mean, that's
true.
That is so great because I do think like over the years as I've met couples, sometimes they say I didn't do a video. That was just the one thing I decided to cut when I ran out of money or, there's only so much in the pot.
Yeah.
I thought, am I really going to watch this video? Well, I regretted it. Because a lot of times we'll interview the brides after. Like, what's your advice? And their number one advice, of course, is always have a wedding planner. But when they haven't done video, they've regretted it.
That's true. And I want to touch on the topic of that. But I want to go back to the prior question. The next thing that we're working on is VR. So we are starting to record weddings in VR.
Wow.
So we have little robots that will go to the center. You won't see the robot because the camera is hitting. They won't see down. But we could see VR moving without nobody holding a camera or anything like that. So,
have you done this at weddings already?
I tested with stable cameras and 180 VRs and 360 VR. YouTube and Facebook has adapted to VR, so you don't need a headset to see that. But if you want the full experience, you would need a headset.
I bet a lot of couples love that here.
Well, we're introducing it now, so.
Okay, so this is like a cutting edge photography company. Wow.
I'm a techie. I'm big into tech here.
Look, Well, today's couple, that's absolutely what they want.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So are those the exciting new things, or is there anything else about the company?
There's always little changes here and there. We humans, we learn, we could do this better next time. We're big on not providing single point of failures. We use a lot of technologies, a lot of cameras. We carry, yeah, my wife used repetitively around 3 to 4 cameras, but we have backup to that. I use around 2 cameras with 2 different angles. We try, we focus on not doing what everybody else is doing. So we try to be very different than everybody else. We use multiple sources of audio. So in the church environment, we connect one to the PBX, we put one by the microphone. We have ambient microphones staged all around. And then when we edit it, we select what we want. If we're in a church and there's a baby crying, we focus on one source. When people are standing up and clapping, cheering, we put ambient. So we use different sources. It's better to have multiple sources and use none than to need a source and not have it. So
And is this just the Houston area, or do you travel?
we travel to the Houston and surrounding area. If we have to travel someplace that's far away, we ask that they accommodate us the day before and the day after. Uh-huh.
Have you gone to any exciting places, or is it mainly Houston?
Cabo, Florida, Key West,
What I will
San Antonio.
about these destination weddings is anywhere other than Houston, they just have prettier things to shoot. It's just like you get that we don't have, but it's a skill to make Houston look pretty, I think.
Give you a little story. A great photographer in New York. He lived in a city, not a lot of places. He did an engagement session in front of a dumpster and made it look fabulous. So
New York.
his way of seeing things is very different, and I try to learn from that. So,
Oh my God.
mhm.
So how can brides reach you?
Easiest is to my webpage. All my contact information is there. Social media. In social media, they will see us doing behind the scenes. So they will see us giving guidance and posting and how they look in reality, and then how we edit it and see the final results. So
That reminds me, because you said editing. What is your feeling on makeup today, when so many of the girls on Instagram are, doing this crazy, beautiful makeup, but like, to me, I'd look at it and I'm like, that is not real. And how do we guide them not to do that? Right? Because then they're not going to feel like it's them. Like, what's the balance there?
that's a big conversation.
No, that's a whole new podcast. Like this.
So makeup comes into style and out of style, right? For photography, there's good makeup and there's bad makeup. If they use foundations that are very reflective, the skin is going to come out very brighter than the rest of the skin. These are things to know before the wedding date. There's also allergies. I had a bride that was doing eyelashes and she was to the glue. Glad that she found this before the day of the wedding, because her eyes got very puffy. So I said it before, I recommend trial makeup, but it's better to find out before the wedding date, if anything like that. There's some foundations that are very reflective, and they tend to, when flash hits it, it tends to be much brighter than the regular skin. Number two is we live in Houston. We're shooting outdoors. People are going to start to sweat. Makeup's going to start to run. So you want something that's durable and also water resistant. To answer your question, makeup is an art. Not everybody's the same, just like not everybody's the same photographer. You want a makeup that's going to make you look, stand out, something that's, so there's people that like conservative makeup, some people that like very loud makeup. So you want somebody who's going to find your vision. And you could use a filter in Facebook and put it on social media, but only those people are going to see it. The day of your wedding, when you're going to be in front of your friends and family, how do you want to look, that day in front of your friends and your family? It's a day that is very memorable. And how do you want your friends to remember you? You want them to take a picture and use a filter, as opposed to, somebody that's going to study your face and the features.
Some of these filters are pretty good.
The
older I get, the more I like this. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And you will be at our next live event. And brides can come see you.
Yes.
And they can see this book in person, which they totally need.
Hopefully I have version 3 by then. So
Can you, what's going to happen in that version?
we put in the video in front.
Oh my gosh, even better.
Yeah. So
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, Jesus.
Okay.
And we look forward to the innovations. I mean, this is more like a technology innovation interview. So very exciting. And I think that definitely the Houston area couples are lucky that you're in this market and that
Amen.
you're offering things I think that we would expect to be like in New York and San Francisco and LA. Don't you think?
Yes. Mhm.
So, well, thank you for joining us.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. And for more information on weddings, events, and everything to do with your special occasions in the greater Houston area, log on to bridalextravaganza.com. This has been Lorette Veris.